How many times have you watched that goal back, the bicycle kick? A few.
God, I think well over 500. I'm not even joking. Yeah, gives me goosebumps still thinking about it. Yeah.
Is it how good the goal is? Is it the type of goal it is, or is it what it meant in terms of getting closer to a World Cup?
I'm pretty big on manifesting and feeling something on the bus before games. And I'm not going to sit here and say that I manifested something like that, but I manifested a pretty good goal. It's professional football. Someone else is going to take your position. As soon as you lose that fire, forget about it.
You're watching Kickin It, presented by Modelo.
Welcome, everybody, to another edition of Kickin It. So good to have with us today the Napoli star and Scotland star, Scott McTominay. So good to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
We're here in your home. Obviously, this is the training ground. I think you just had something to eat. You had a massage. Yeah. How's your Italian going? How do you do with the rest of the team?
Yeah, my Italian's not bad. It's not great, but it's I try.
Not bad as I can hold full conversations, or...
I could probably do an interview now about a game where I could say, oggi partita è molto buono con la squadra difficile, per me è troppo importante 3 punti, and so on.
Okay.
You know, so, but it's the confidence, and especially when there's live cameras in front of you, it's not easy. And also, it's sometimes a little bit embarrassing when you get the words wrong. But I'm trying to get over that and be more confident in terms of speaking and saying different things, you know? Yeah,
because truth is, nobody watching cares. They're just excited that you're that good in Italian that you can actually have those kind of conversations.
Yeah, but I had a great, like, 25-minute conversation with the gardener about 6 months ago after we won the league, and it was only in Italian.
That's a long gardening conversation.
No, but he was, I can't remember what he was doing, but I was sat outside in the sun, and he only spoke Italian. So I was like, now's my time. I need to.
He was a football fan?
I need to give this a go here. Yeah, they all are.
Okay.
They all love it. I need to give this a good go here. And then we had a full-on conversation. Me, poco Italiano, but not as fluent and fluid as what I would have thought. But he understood everything that I was saying. So
it's impressive. You got a full-time job, so being able to fit it in.
It's hard because we have so many games and travel and stuff like that. I did 365 days of Duolingo, which is like 5 minutes
Listening
a day.
to it on your iPod?
Yeah, just like little things that you can learn words and stuff like that. And then after a year, scrapped it. Wasn't really helping me as much as what I thought. And then now I've got a new app, which is better.
Oh, so you do it on an app, not with a tutor?
On an app, yeah, because whenever you go home now, I don't want to be scheduled to an hour and a half here whenever I want to be resting and taking it easy, whereas I can just pull my phone out and do a quick half an hour or something like that every so often, whenever I feel like I need to.
Fit it in when you can.
But it's hard. It is hard. It's a credit to people like Romelu Lukaku who can speak 5, 6, 7 different languages.
Did you do languages at school?
I did football at school. That was about as good as we got.
I guess I'd love to start by talking about kind of like the last 18 months of your life, because they've been phenomenal. You win the Scudetto with Napoli. You're voted and nominated Player of the Season in the Serie A. You take Scotland back to the World Cup for the first time in like 28 years or something. Have you processed kind of where your career has taken you over such a short period of time?
No, probably not, to be honest. It's been winning the Scudetto and obviously the different things that come along with that, and obviously Scotland going to the World Cup is huge, to be honest. And for me, I'm just so grateful for everyone who's been a part of the journey in terms of winning the league last year, and obviously the group that we have with Scotland is incredible, and I'm just so grateful to continue to just work my best. That's what I've always prided myself on in my career, is give your absolute best at all times, and then just continue to do that throughout your career. So
it feels like when you get kind of a certain level of success, I would imagine it feels like validation of who you are as a player. Has it changed how you see yourself as a player?
No, if anything, I'm probably more hypercritical now, where my standards are really, really high, and I don't want to ever drop below them. And it comes down to the work that you put in behind closed doors, and obviously with the coach and their staff to try and help you continue to have the same level. Obviously, this year is harder. We have many injuries and we have so many games. So for us, the demand on the team is more and more. But I'm so proud of how everyone's handling it.
When you've hit the highs that you hit last season, it's quite hard to maintain, right? Like in boxing, they always say it's easier to win the belt than to defend the belt.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Like, do you feel like this season has been tougher on you personally to try and maintain the same standard?
Yeah, but to be honest, you always have to, whenever the last season finished, I was like, well, that's done now. So I have to look at repeating or doing my best to repeat what I can do. And obviously with injuries, the position changes a little bit. Sometimes it's not as simple to just play one game a week and it's go on the pitch and we have quite a similar team, you know. So yeah, for me, I just want to continue to give my best and not really think too much about it, because the more you think about stuff like that, sometimes it can get in your own head and you want to just continue to give your best. One
of the key indicators of just how well you did last season is the nomination on the shortlist for the Ballon d'Or, which you finished 18th. So you finished top 20, you finished ahead of Virgil van Dijk, Erling Haaland, Jude Bellingham, Cole Palmer. Such an incredible list, and you placed so high on it. Is that kind of like the ultimate recognition for you? Did that feel like, where does it rank in terms of career highs? Players often say they don't care about personal accolades, but...
Yeah, for me, it's surreal. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, it's normal, because for me, it is surreal. And obviously the message that you get from people saying congratulations and stuff like that, but I try always to put things to the back of my mind, like that is not important in this moment in time, because me thinking about that or your ego getting a bit bigger ain't going to help me in future games and going forward. So I've always been quite level-headed in terms of never get too high, never get too low. So if we lose, you can be angry and stuff, or if you win and play a great game, you can be happy. But you always have to find that middle ground where it's what takes you to the next game and think about the next thing to carry on improving, you know. So yeah, as much as I can, I try and actually block it out and do it the other way, so as it doesn't get to your head or people start thinking that you're changing because you've had a bit of recognition here and there. Like, that's not really my style. I want to finish my career and say that I maintain the same level of mental state throughout my entire career, whether it was good, bad or ugly at Man United, or going really well here, sometimes good, sometimes not so good. So for me, it's the middle ground is what is important for me.
What about life here in Napoli? Obviously, everybody knows that the city is kind of football crazy, which you're used to, having spent however many years you spent at Manchester United. But it almost feels, it feels very intense here. There's, when you drive through the city, you see the murals everywhere. You see your face in places. I've seen fans who've had a tattoo of your name and your number. There's pizza named after you. The fan base has a name they call you. What's the name they call you? It's like McFratum?
Yeah, that was after an interview that I did, because my big friend Pasquale calls me Fratoma, which is brother in Neapolitan, and then Fratello is brother in Italian. So yeah, it's like a shorter version of saying frate, ciao, come stai, fra. It's almost surreal still for me to feel the love and the passion from the fans and the energy. I don't think that feeling will ever go away from the way that I feel about the people. I don't go into the centre of Naples a lot, because obviously the people they recognise you. I'm blonde hair and I'm quite tall, so they can spot you. Yeah. So I don't really feel it in the centre of Naples, but come the match days and the Champions League nights, you feel the passion and the pressure that it is to play for a club like this.
Is that the downside of the success almost, that now you've kind of lost a bit of your privacy, your private space?
No, because in Manchester, I did the same stuff that I do here. I go home, I sit on the sofa, I use my recovery boots, I have my dinner, do a little bit of red light therapy, try and sleep as well as I can do, see my family, see my girlfriend, see my friends. My life is the same, it's just better food here, better weather here, and that's
better
really
food
it.
Than Manchester.
A lot better, yeah. Whenever I first came, people said, oh, the food is incredible, and I was like, it's another myth. It's normal, the Italians, the way that they dress, I thought that was another myth, but I see it firsthand. The food here is incredible, and the weather and the way that they dress, the way that they hold themselves is something that is pretty cool.
So I lived in, I grew up in Manchester as well, then lived in Spain, in France, and then in Germany, and now in the US. One of the things I like about when you move is it almost feels like an opportunity to kind of reinvent yourself. Because wherever you've been, people already have a fixed idea of who you are. Yeah. And you kind of get to start afresh in terms of, I don't know, the direction you're going in life or your personality, different things like that. Do you feel there's any way in which you've, in your personal life, reinvented yourself?
In my personal life?
Yeah.
No.
Okay,
no.
Professionally?
Professionally, people may have a different perception of me now by my friend sends me a picture of me wearing a a suit or something like that, and it's like, oh, you never used to wear that, but I actually did, and it's not, my life has not really changed in terms of what maybe the media and people think. I'm just a normal guy who works his absolute best, and whenever I go out, I like to dress nice and stuff like that, but really,
what people think you've had, like, the Italian glow-up?
Well, I don't know. People say, they say loads of things. Once a narrative gets created, it's very easy for people to send you stuff online and stuff. And yeah, I don't really pay too much attention to that. My personal life's the same. I've always been very, very private. People don't really know much about me personally, and I'm just a big kid, to be honest. Whenever I'm home, people don't see the silly side of you whenever you're hearing in a serious environment, training all the time, and it seems like, oh, he's... But really, when I'm with my friends and my family, I'm just a big kid, so yeah.
Talk to me about your fitness regime, which I imagine to a large extent is dictated by the club, right? But what does it look like for you?
I do a lot of recovery stuff. I do a lot of ice baths, do a lot of recovery boots, the compression on your legs, a lot of red light therapy, which I think is beneficial, especially before I go to sleep, to get me to sleep deeper and in more of a REM state. So yeah.
Sorry for the ignorance, but when you do red light therapy, what are you doing? Like, are you sitting in a infrared sauna type thing, or what is it?
Yeah, I have an infrared sauna, which I don't really use too much. I prefer the normal sauna, but I'll sit in front of a red light panel with my these dark glasses on, because obviously red light's extremely bright. Sit there like this and then get it on my face, get it on my legs. And then turn around and do it on all my back of my legs for 15, 20 minutes, 5 times a week. And I always notice that I do sleep better and in a more deep state, which I check on my Whoop.
Are you unusual in doing that, or would that be the norm across a professional squad?
I think a lot of footballers
players
have started doing that more. But yeah, to be fair, I'm a bit of a recovery geek. There's so many different things that you can do. You've got normal sauna, infrared sauna, blue light. You've got to block all the blue light, so you've got to wear the blue light glasses in the evening.
Is that for sleep?
That's for sleep, yeah.
Okay.
Whenever you've got blue light on your
Do you do
eyes.
that?
Yeah, well, I wear contact lenses and glasses anyway.
Okay.
So in the evenings, I always put my glasses on, which are blue light blocking. So if I'm on my phone, blue light's not directly on my eyes, which would keep me awake a little bit longer and not settle me down into my parasympathetic nervous system cool down, so I'll sleep straight away.
Okay.
Yeah. So when your parasympathetic nervous system begins to settle down, you get into more of a relaxed state where you can go to sleep easier. And if I'm in a hot room, disaster, I'll never sleep. Has to be cold.
Oh, I hate a cold room.
You hate a cold room?
Yeah, I like it nice and warm.
Nice and warm?
Yeah, husband hates it.
Oh, I can't do that. Honestly, I wouldn't sleep anything over 21 degrees.
I feel like girls are always cold. Is your
yeah,
girlfriend
my girlfriend's
not cold?
freezing.
Yeah.
So there's some compromise there where who sleeps more important and who's more tired the next morning.
Before we started recording on camera, we were just talking about your schedule, how you've got the Super Cup coming up in Saudi Arabia, you've got a game this weekend, you just played in the Champions League midweek. It's like a big talking point, right, in football right now is, are players overloaded? Are there too many games? Do you feel the effects of that? Are you exhausted? How do you feel day to day?
Yeah, you could never use that as an excuse, because it's not an excuse. You're a football player and that's what you're paid to do. You're paid to technically play 3 games a week, regardless of circumstances, whether you have injuries or a fully fit squad. You have to prepare yourself for that anyway. But yeah, I do think that there is a vast amount of fixtures, which is obviously not easy for the players, but that's why you have to be a professional, and every time you go on the pitch, give your best. Like I say, you could never use that as an excuse, because Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, they've been doing this for 20 years.
Right.
So we've had 6 months of it, and we can't be saying that we're tired or anything like that. You have to look at the levels of what they've given over the years and think, if they can do it and their recovery and how famous and how wealthy they are, then it's easy for us to try and give a similar sort of level. And if you don't meet the standards, then you can always say that you strove towards that and gave your best.
Are you one of those people that has like a number when you want to get out of the game, or are you one of those people that wants to play until your body says you can no longer play?
I always pride myself on being a bit obsessed. So I would almost think if I got to 5, 6, 7 years' time and I was not able to play at the same level, I would almost be a bit disappointed in myself that maybe my professionalism has let me down and not allowed me to continue to play at the highest level that I can possibly play at. So I would like to say that I could play for hopefully another 10 years if possible. But in terms of setting a number, no, never. I would just go with the flow and see where football takes me.
Obsessed means what in terms of like how much football are you watching when you're not playing?
No, not watching football, more obsessed with always improving, obsessed with keeping my body in a state where I feel good all the time, mentally, physically, to continue to push boundaries and play well. But in terms of watching football, you can almost maybe watch too much and have that overload of football in your life where you're like, I need a break here, because sometimes it gets to that stage where you're like, I need to mentally reset rather than physically.
How young were you when you grasped that, like this need to be totally disciplined and that being the route to the highest level in success?
From quite an early age, my mum and dad are extremely hardworking people, not pushing me to say, oh, you always have to work hard, but they've almost let me find my way to determine what comes out of life. If in any industry, if you don't work hard, you're not going to go to the next level or get what you want from life. So they've almost left it to me to find out the route. And when I got into the under-21s with Warren Joyce, he just transformed me directly. His mentality was different. 2 weeks ago, I've not seen Warren for like 6-7 years. 2 weeks ago, he's sending me a video with him holding the plank to his favourite song and saying, this is the mentality that you need to get to. And all these young kids, they don't understand the level of discipline and stuff like that. And it still inspires me today because it fueled a fire in me that I'll never forget. And obviously, the managers that I had, Jose Mourinho, Antonio Conte, their different level of mentality is incredible and always inspires me.
What was different about Napoli Football Club? What feels different to you? Because you spent, what, 22 years at Manchester United? It's a big change.
It's a very family-orientated club. The feel with the people here, every time I see everybody in the morning, from the chefs to the kit men to the doctors to the physios to the coaches here, it feels good. I really enjoy it. You know, it's different because I'm trying my best to learn Italian as much as I can and obviously not be disrespectful that way, but with the amount of games we have, it can be hard. Yeah. But I love it in terms of everybody here. I can't speak highly enough of them.
Playing under a manager like Antonio Conte, who obviously has a huge amount of confidence in you, he even kind of changed his style of play to accommodate you, it seemed like, and give you the best position you could be in. What's it like playing under a manager like that when things aren't going well?
I love him, to be honest. He's good. Like, he's so passionate and so, how would I describe it? It's a different sense of fire that I've ever seen before in terms of someone who just lives and breathes football, and tactically he's very, very good in terms of the way that he sets the team up and the message that gets put across to the players. It's very, very high level, and I've been so impressed. And for me to play under the manager that I have done, including him, I'm extremely lucky, and I've learnt a hell of a lot. So, yeah, it's when you lose, it's not good for any manager. You know, I've experienced it with a lot of different managers now, and like you say, us as players, we have to remain somewhere in the middle emotionally, and that's probably when you get your best football.
When you're talking about how tactical Antonio Conte is, what's preparation like for a game? Like, how much preparation are you doing with film? How much is personalised to you? How does that work?
A lot of film, a lot of video, a lot of analysing the opposition team, a lot of on-pitch, sometimes walk-through, sometimes really high intensity depending on the day and stuff like that, and really getting the meshes out on the pitch predominantly, where we can move around and feel the positions of how we want to press or how we want to defend, or positions that we need our attacking players to be in when we're going for goals. So yeah, it's high level stuff. Every
player is different, right, in terms of what they need from a manager. Are you aware of what your needs are? Do you need somebody who takes care of you? Do you want somebody who's direct and will always speak the truth? What do you need as a player?
No, I definitely don't need someone who is putting their arm around me and stuff like that. It's never really been my sort of style. I know whenever I've not played well, and I know when I've played well. So the firmer approach normally is a wake-up call saying you need to fix up pretty quick, otherwise you've got a problem, and then that's sort of the indication saying, yeah, I need to be a bit better here. So, but in terms of if I don't play well and the arms are on the shoulder, I'm not a kid. I need someone to push me. You know, sometimes if you might not notice it yourself, you need that in the background, which is, every player is different though. Some players need the arm around the shoulder and the confidence might be down a little bit. Whereas for me, if my confidence is down, I can normally tackle my way or score a goal back into confidence. So that can help as well.
Are you an overthinker?
No, in comparison to some other football players, probably not. Like,
What would you say that?
I wouldn't say so, because football's a tough game. It's not easy to be constantly confident at all times, and it's, some lads maybe take things a bit more personally, whereas I've never tended to be like that as much. So yeah, I would say, how would I say? Probably no.
Obviously, mentally, you come off as mentally like very strong. Is there anything that's ever been said publicly that has bothered you?
No, never. The only thing that would bother me is if the manager pulled me into his office and said, "You don't seem like yourself," and I'd be like, "That's tough." Because if I don't seem like myself, that is either one or two things. The quality's down, you don't seem like you're running as much, your attitude, your body language is poor. I'd never want someone to question that of me, which is probably my fear and my obsession to why I'm really concentrated and do my best.
I'm sure it's easier to be that way when you're riding a high, right? Like right now at Napoli. Let's say during those difficult times, Eric Ten Hag years at United.
I don't think of it as riding a high, though. I've never thought of it like that.
How not? I mean, what you achieved last season.
You can't know, because, like, I didn't play well the other night, and you can't be like, oh, well, because I'm in a good moment and people think that I'm in a good moment, I get away with it. You don't. It's professional football. People have got memories like a goldfish. They forget about it instantly. I swear to God, though, how can you ever come away and think, do you know what, because I'm in technically a good month, 2 months, year,
right.
18 months, 3 years or whatever, I'll get away with a bad performance in there. You don't, because football, someone else who's going to take your position. As soon as you lose that fire, forget about it.
You were, what, like 5 years old, I think it was, when you first signed to the United Academy, is that right?
Yeah, I just turned 5 when you go to the development centres and you play football as a kid. And at that age, though, it's all about enjoying it. Like,
right.
You just need, until you get to 15, 16, where it becomes tactically a little bit more important to change there, just enjoy football. Like some of the kids these days, it's a lot of pressure to be, I see online, some people are saying, oh, they need to do this and do whatever to get to the Premier League or get to play for the national team. Just let them enjoy it, let them express themselves and let them find their own route in football.
I read this thing about you, how you kind of had this period when you were at the Man United Academy where you were struggling with injuries. They weren't sure if it was going to derail your career because you had this insane growth spurt of like 14 inches in 2 years or something.
I was 5'6" whenever I was probably about 16. But whenever I was younger, I was a silky number 10, like in between the lines, small, agile, receiving it, turning, shooting, stuff like that. And then I got a bit bigger and I was like, oh, I can't really do that as well anymore because of the balance, and my coordination wasn't quite as good as what it used to be. And I couldn't really get that out of my head because when I was 16, me and Marcus Rashford were doing 45 minutes a half for the under-16s, and I was like, God, this is a bit different playing number 10 now from whenever I was 12, 13, 14. And it took me a while from whenever I was 18 to 21 to fill into my body and feel more like a man, you know? So some players start when they're 16, 17, 18. I didn't start until I was 21. So in my own head and my own body now, in my mind, I'm 29 years old now, but I actually feel nowhere near that.
At what point did it become like a job to you?
Never, to be honest. The only thing that's hard is a lot of travelling and stuff like that, but in terms of it being a job, like, I know how lucky I am and how fortunate I am to be in this position, so I could never, ever label it as a job because there's millions and billions of children in the world and people my age or a little bit older who would snap their hand off to be a professional footballer at whatever level. So, yeah, you just got to never take anything for granted.
You talked before about, like, when you mentioned Man United, you said the good, the bad and the ugly. You lived through kind of like a turbulent period with the club in general, just with them struggling and going through managers and trying to find the right solution to get things back on track. I guess I'm just interested, your experience of Manchester United, how do you reflect on your time there? Yeah,
with immense pride, to be honest, because I played 255 times and scored some important goals and won 2 trophies for my team. So if you'd have said that to me whenever I was 16, I'd have never believed you. And also, looking back now, I'm just extremely grateful for all the people that I met along the way at the club and everybody. And I always wish them the best in no matter what happened in terms of the financial difficulties in football these days where players have to move or whatever happened whenever I left is not important. It's the fact that I actually lived my dream and played for Man United, and I'm so proud to say that. Knowing how,
when you moved to Napoli from United, kind of the the upturn in form, and predominantly it feels like that was because of where you were positioned on the pitch, right, and being put in your best position to be able to perform at your best. Does that make it feel like there's some unfinished business at United or in the Premier League that you would kind of like to go back at some point and prove yourself there?
In my last 2 years at United, I think in my last season I scored 10 goals and some were quite important goals, and I was playing a little bit higher up the pitch, and I thought, you know what, this is where I should be playing. I'll never forget Kieran McKenna said to me, like, okay, now, like, you score so many goals in training, any chance in the game? And I'm thinking, well, like, yeah, you want to say, you know, well, play me a bit higher up or whatever, but sometimes in football it's not always that easy. And if managers come and ask you, we need you to do this for the team, or we need you to do this, like at the minute I'm playing a little bit deeper here, so my role changes, and you can never be arrogant or have too big of an ego to say, oh no, I don't want to do that. This is my position, this is where I want to play for the rest of my career, because it's not realistic, and you just have to, like you say, give your best whenever you step onto the pitch, and that's it.
Given your love for the club, like you said, it's your club, it's the club you grew up supporting, it's the club your family supports, I think, as well, right? Did you feel any hurt about the way that chapter ended? I mean, a lot of, like, let's say, big-name former players came out and felt like you were the type of player that they should never have let go, because you're a local lad, you loved the team, you understood, like, the culture of the team, and you worked so hard for the team. Did you feel similarly? Did you feel any hurt attached to that?
No, it was a mutual decision where I wanted to go and play, and the club obviously had difficulty with, is it PSR? Is that right?
The financial,
PSR? Yeah, I think so they had difficulties with that, and it was a mutual thing. There was no ill feeling towards anyone at Manchester United. I've got so much love for them, all the people there. Whenever I watch Man United now, I'm still connected. I still feel Bruno's playing well, and I know Harry and Tom Heaton's still there, and I still want them to do well. And yeah, it's a strange feeling watching, but it's normal. It's part of the life.
So I feel like I'd be different. I feel like if I left the Champions League show, I would hope that the show is a lesser show without me. Do you know what I mean? I would want to feel that. It's like a validation thing. The United experience, obviously you mentioned Jose Mourinho as one of the managers you played under. He was the manager that gave you your first appointment on the team to be able to play first-team football.
Yeah.
How did he impact your life, knowing that a manager like that believes in you, wants to put you into the first team?
He's a character. I seen him and spoke to him after the game the other night, and I missed him. And whenever I seen him, his energy and the way that he was speaking to me, like, it's been a while since I'd seen him. So for me, I have to be so grateful for him. And my father before the game was saying, make sure you go and say hello and ask him.
You gave him a gift, didn't you?
Yeah, I gave him my shirt after the game.
Nice.
So, but my father was saying, make sure you go and say hello, make a fuss, and you know, make sure you say how appreciative you are of what he's given you, because he started my career at 21 years old, and albeit I was a later developer, so I wasn't fully developed until I was 18, 19. So he didn't see me until I was 20, 21, really, to be honest. So for him to give me that opportunity, I was just so grateful, and I'll never forget him.
You're not the only former player who's kind of gone on to a different club and really just flourished when they've made that move, which I guess as an outsider makes you look at the club and think, okay, this seems more like an issue with the club rather than with the player, because you see it repeated. What were you going to say? You disagree?
Yeah.
Why?
Because it's just too easy of an excuse to say, oh, they left Man United and now they're doing well. In my last year, I did well. I scored 10 goals and we won a trophy. And with Marcus, obviously there was different issues which might have transpired, which we won't go into. However, Marcus is a top player, and he's always been a top player. He's one of the club legends. He scored so many goals for Man United, done so many great things. Because the spotlight's directly on you, it makes it seem a lot worse, in my opinion. Obviously, when players go away and they're playing more games, they're going to have an increase in confidence and feel better about themselves rather than playing less minutes in Man United, for example. But when you are at Man United, you have to earn those minutes, like Bruno Fernandes, who's done incredible. So, yeah, I think it's too easy to probably say that.
Do you think partially then what's beneficial is moving away from, like, a change of environment? So you're out of the kind of the spotlight of the British press, you know, the kind of voraciousness of the media over there, and you get kind of to, like, start again? Potentially,
yeah, but there's also some players who leave who people don't speak about so much, but there is players who everyone speaks about, so it depends on the individual. And for me, I think it's too easy an excuse to blame Man United as a club, because whenever I was there, they did everything for me. They helped me with nutrition, they helped me with training, They helped me tactically, whoever the manager was there. Everything is put there for you to succeed. It's not like they don't give you certain things that other clubs do. They do. So the myth of they go away and they're better players comes down to confidence. If you're going away and you're playing every single game and you score and then you score again and then people start speaking, you feel good about yourself and you want to continue in that way. So, yeah, I think it's a myth.
How many times have you watched that goal back, the bicycle kick? A few.
God, I think well over 500. I'm not even joking. Yeah, gives me goosebumps still thinking about it. Yeah.
Is it how good the goal is? Is it the type of goal it is, or is it what it meant in terms of getting closer to a World Cup?
I'm pretty big on manifesting and feeling something on the bus before games. And I'm not going to sit here and say that I manifested something like that, but I manifested a pretty fucking good goal. So for something like, I can't remember exactly what I was thinking about, but as soon as I get the goosebumps and that feeling of like, this is going to happen here. And then Andy Robertson said a nice word to me before we played the game about the stage we're on, and this is where big players come and do their stuff, you know. And I thought about it and was like, do you know what? He said that to a few different players. Why can't I be one of them? Why can't that be the thing that fuels my fire in games like that? And that's what you live for.
I was just thinking about that moment with your mum. You run into towards the crowd to look for your mum, and you see your mouth. Where's my mum?
Yeah.
Which is a very cool moment. Why was she the person that you wanted to look for? Who else was in the crowd for you that day, and why your mum?
My mum and dad were both in the crowd. To be honest with you, I don't know why I did that. And at the time, I think it was just because I couldn't believe that I scored a goal like that. I was like, where's my mum, man?
It's
like,
incredible goal, right?
And my dad knows though, because like he comes to every single game, but my mum was there, and yeah, it was just a quick split-second thing, like, where's my mum? Because I can normally see them in the crowd, but I couldn't. So yeah, that was nice. My mum was obviously, when we drove home back to Manchester after that game, she was all excited and stuff, which is the best thing in the world for me. Like seeing my mum and dad and my family and my friends, my girlfriend happy. That's what you live for as a football player, you know.
Have you been able to change their lives in ways?
I would say I've given them experiences and memories that they might not forget. Obviously in football, I like to take care of them and stuff like that, which is what every boy in my position would want to do, and to take care of his family. But no, I would say it's more experiences that they look at, and they'll never forget the goal that we scored for the Scudetto, and then Romelu's goal, and then the Scotland goals that we scored. It's creating moments like that and memories, playing at elite football, that people never forget.
What does it mean for you going back to the World Cup? Scotland must have been, like, I don't know, 2 years old, 3 years old when Scotland last played, yeah?
Yeah.
To know that you're going to walk out onto a World Cup field and play at least 4 games.
God,
3 games.
It is mad, because whenever I was watching the World Cup as a kid, like, it almost doesn't sink in that you're actually gonna play in a tournament like that. I don't know. I find it really difficult to explain. Whenever I watched it as a kid, it was incredible, the best thing ever that you could watch, and you feel it. But when you're a player, you almost have to block all of that emotion out of, like, the fans, all the different parties that are going on and what people are up to. Whenever we're sat in the change room before the game, you don't see the fireworks, you don't see the fans, you don't see the media coverage and stuff like that. So you almost have to be a bit numb to it to perform at your best and just treat it like it's a normal game, when obviously we know it's not.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a strange feeling.
But exciting.
Yeah, it's the same with the Champions League though. Whenever you're a kid and you're watching it and you're like...
The anthem, the whole thing, yeah.
But when the anthem comes on now, I'm like, I need to think about playing well here. I can't think about how big it is that you're actually playing the Champions League, you know?
What you said about manifestation, how does that work? Like, what are you actually doing? Walk me through it.
I'm not sat there with my eyes closed on the bus, but I'm listening to some music that fuels my fire and makes me feel like if I do something special in this game, or if I do this, I'm sat there and think about family, think about if I did something like that, how would they feel? And picturing my grandparents sat on the sofa at home watching it, who don't go to as many games now because they're a bit older, and how would it make them feel, and the phone call after and stuff like that.
So it's more about what motivates you rather than specific things that you want to see happen in the game necessarily. Do you know what I mean?
But the motivation there of seeing my grandpa getting off the sofa and fist pumping or something like that, and then me scoring a goal like that, or scoring a volley, or scoring something like that. it comes together. Do you see what I mean? And there's been loads of games where I've tried that, where it doesn't happen, but you just always have to try and get yourself into that state where you're playing your absolute best.
What's the music?
A mix.
Okay.
Yeah, we've got rap, heavy rap, to country. I love country.
Yeah.
To Olivia Dean. Yeah, I like.
Oh, you're
Olivia Dean.
eclectic. Okay.
I'm eclectic, yeah. But to be honest with you, I'm majority Gunner, Little Baby, people like that. I like Big X now as well, but I also like Luke Combs, people like that. Eric Strickland, Olivia Dean. It's a real mix. I actually need some new songs, to be honest. They get me fired up.
Okay. Talking about Scotland, did you watch the World Cup draw? Or did you just look at it on social or whatever?
Yeah, I watched it, yeah.
You watched it. Were you alone when you watched it? With
I was with
teammates?
my family
Okay.
at home.
Well, what was the draw's crazy? You got Brazil, Morocco, Haiti.
Yeah.
Is it a good draw for Scotland? What do you think?
Yeah, it's good. It's a tough group. We all know it's a tough group, but yeah, it's good. Scotland versus Brazil in Game 3 at the World Cup. I mean, in Miami as well. It's special. So for us, you have to pay little attention to the outside noise as much as possible. But with moments like that, it is difficult because we want to go there and we want to get out the group and give a great account of ourselves and play good. So yeah, it's exciting.
Get out of the group means finish in the top 2 or potentially finish third. There'll be, I think, 8 third-place finishers who then go through as well to the next round. What do you expect when you think about that group? Are you assuming that Brazil finish top, or do you go in with the mindset Scotland can finish top?
I expect us to go with somewhat of a different mentality that we can go and beat these teams and we need to get it out of our head. I'm not saying it's already in our head, but we need to remove the thoughts in our head that this team's superior to us or that nation's superior to us. They might be, they might not be, but we have to go there with almost a little bit of arrogance where we can play against anyone and we can do as well as we possibly can and take results from these teams. So I feel like it has to be a bit of a mentality switch to get the best performance that we can have.
You mentioned the Scotland-Brazil game. Who gets the shirt from that game?
The shirt,
Yeah.
I'd take any Brazil shirt, to be honest. I'd be happy with them. All their players are really high level, same as Morocco, same as Haiti as well, but especially Brazil, their players are top level, and yeah, we're gonna have to be good that day.
What would feel like a successful World Cup for Scotland?
Winning it.
Okay. Other than that, is there a point where you
joking.
say, if we get to the quarterfinals, I'll come home a happy man? Or...
No, I don't know. It's difficult. You don't want to. You don't want to put a limit on what can be a successful trip. You don't want to ever say that out loud because it's almost like tempting fate. So for me, getting out of the group, continuing, giving our best and playing well, I think that's all you can do because every nation would probably say the same thing.
Got you. Well, I appreciate your time.
No,
I know
thank
we
you
have to
very
wrap.
much.
Thank you
Really
so much.
appreciate it.
So
No
good
problem.
to meet you.
Thank you.
Best of luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.